Thousands of Darfur refugees have fled to Chad. The UN and the government of Chad disagree about the future of nearly 4,000 peacekeepers in the country helping to protect the refugees. Chadian President Idris Deby wants soldiers to leave because he says they are failing to protect civilians. The UN says soldiers are still needed to guard the delivery of humanitarian aid. As talks on the future of the MUNICART force continue, VOA West Africa correspondent Scott Stearns reports peacekeepers are working to improve the lives of Chadian civilians.
MUNICART's Norwegian contingent helped drill 2 wells in eastern Chad that are expected to provide safe drinking water to as many as 135,000 people for the next 50 years. In the arid Iribo region, people previously had to travel for days to find water for their families and their animals. Victor Angelo is the UN Secretary General's special representative for Chad.
The main objective of this project is to facilitate the community's access to water, especially when it comes to making life easier for women.
MUNICART is responsible for protecting humanitarian activities in an often lawless area of northeastern Chad, home to 250,000 refugees from Sudan's troubled Darfur region and another 250,000 combined displaced civilians from Chad and the Central African Republic. Iribo resident Mohamed Kayo says the wells mean people will not face as many dangers traveling so far in search of safe water.
They built wells before, but the wells had no water for nearly 3 years. People used to go fetch water with donkeys, and little children would go day and night to fetch water at the wells. It takes a lot of time to go fetch water, and you might not even get water. After what I have seen today, I am very proud. With what I saw, with the water that we now have, I thank those involved.
The mandate for the MUNICART peacekeeping force now expires May 15th. If talks in N'Djamena do not secure a longer extension, most of these soldiers will begin preparing to go home. President Deby says Chad no longer needs MUNICART because Chad and Sudan are setting up their own security force to patrol their 500-kilometer border. But that force will not be fully operational in 6 weeks. Relief officials say withdrawing MUNICART prematurely would leave refugees and displaced civilians vulnerable to banditry and hunger as the force provides much-needed security for food convoys. Scott Stearns, VOA News, Dakar.